Christopher Marlowe's Tamburlaine the Great, written circa 1587-1588, draws loosely on the life of the Central Asian conqueror Timur. Part 1 opens in Persepolis, where the Persian emperor Mycetes sends his army to destroy Tamburlaine, a Scythian shepherd-turned-bandit. Mycetes' brother, Khosrow, criticizes the emperor for his weakness and begins to plot his overthrow. Meanwhile, in Scythia, Tamburlaine successfully courts Zenocrate, the daughter of the Egyptian king. When Mycetes' forces attack, Tamburlaine persuades them and Khosrow to ally with him against Mycetes. He promises Khosrow the Persian throne, but after triumphing in battle, Tamburlaine claims the kingship for himself. A struggle for power ensues between Tamburlaine and Khosrow, ending with Khosrow's death. Emboldened by his victories, Tamburlaine sets his sights on the Turkish emperor, Bajazeth, capturing him and his wife, Sabina. Tamburlaine confines Bajazeth in a cage, feeding him scraps and only allows him out to be used as a footstool. When Bajazeth hears of yet another Tamburlaine conquest, he kills himself hostage by striking his head against the cage bars, and Sabina follows suit upon discovering his body. Tamburlaine then conquers Africa and declares himself emperor of the continent, turning his attention to Damascus. To reach it, he must defeat his father-in-law, but Zenocrate pleads for mercy, and Tamburlaine spares the sultan, making him a tributary king. During the ensuing battle, the governor of Damascus sends a group of virgins to placate Tamburlaine, but he has them slaughtered and their bodies displayed on the city walls. The battle is won, and Part 1 closes with Tamburlaine and Zenocrate's wedding. She becomes Empress of Persia. Part 2 begins with Tamburlaine instructing his sons in the art of conquest while continuing to expand his dominion. Two sons share his ambition, but the third, Caliphas, does not, preferring to stay with his mother to avoid danger, a choice that enrages Tamburlaine. When Tamburlaine learns of Zenocrate's illness, he returns to her side, and upon her death, he burns the city and forbids its reconstruction. Elsewhere, Callapin, Bajazeth's son, escapes imprisonment and rallies a coalition of tributary kings to challenge Tamburlaine and avenge his father. The armies clash and Tamburlaine emerges victorious. Discovering that Caliphas remained in his tent during the battle, Tamburlaine kills him in fury. Advancing on Babylon, Tamburlaine's cruelty escalates. He assassinates the governor, binds the city's inhabitants and casts them into a lake, burns a copy of the Quran and proclaims himself superior to any god. Returning home ill, he names his son Amrus as successor. Tamburlaine dies, leaving Amrus anxious about living up to his father's legacy. Critics have identified several central themes in Tamburlaine the Great. The play examines masculinity and the nature of manhood. Tamburlaine's ferocity and relentless ambition contrast with other rulers' hesitance, and his son's death underscores the consequences of differing forms of masculinity. The play also positions Tamburlaine against God and the faithful, a reading bolstered by Marlowe's historical accusations of atheism. Tamburlaine at one point calls himself the scourge of God, echoing Attila the Hun. His drive to conquer reveals immense hubris and ambition. Unlike many works depicting ambitious rulers ending in disgrace, Tamburlaine dies relatively peacefully, struck down by illness rather than battle, leaving it ambiguous whether his death is chance or divine retribution. Modern critics highlight the play's significance. Tamburlaine introduced stylistic and structural innovations that influence subsequent drama. Characters with intense motivations, ornate and elevated language, and tightly structured plots with thrilling action. These features made the play a hit with audiences and performers and marked a turning point in Elizabethan drama. Though tastes eventually shifted away from such extravagance, Marlowe's influence persisted, with later plays engaging with Tamburlaine's themes and techniques, demonstrating its lasting imprint on theatrical history. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.